Hello everybody and welcome back to the Daily Physio. Today I just finished my workout, that's why I'm nice and sweaty. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about knee pain, which is so common. I myself have experienced knee pain and tons of people experience knee pain when working out and in their daily life. I'm not going to be talking about if you heard a snap or your knee is super inflamed and you had an injury. That I would recommend getting it checked out by a healthcare provider. But this is going to be more knee pain that kind of just comes on when going up the stairs or with working out, where there wasn't really a direct cause we could think of. I'm going to split it up into 3 steps. Number 1 is regaining our mobility. Number 2 is regaining what I'm going to call motor control. And number 3 is going to be regaining our strength and function. So first step, all you're going to need is a towel and a small step. That's all, the only equipment we're going to need. So first thing I want you to do is sit on the floor just like this and straighten out your legs. If you're not comfortable like this, lie down on your back. And I want you to see if one knee is less straight than the other one, if you have a harder time straightening out one knee. It could be on the painful side or the non-painful side. Then what I want you to do is grab the non-painful side, bend it as far as you can. Then you're going to grab the painful side, bend it as far as you can. What you could do is record it like me, and I want you to see if there's less range of motion on one side than the other, or if there's pain. That's going to tell us that this is the first step that we need to work on. If we're limited into extension, so we have a hard time straightening the knee on the painful side or the other side, that's the first thing we're going to work on. What I'm going to do is grab a towel, roll it up, put it under my knee, and then I'm going to push my knee into the towel, trying to squeeze my quad on that side, and I'm going to repeat that 10 times, getting that quad active again. Once I'm comfortable with this, right, I'm going to do it 3-4 times a day over a couple of weeks. Once I'm comfortable with this, I'm going to put the towel under my heel and repeat the same thing, trying to activate my quad in this position. It doesn't matter if it's the painful side or the non-painful side. Either way, we want to regain this knee extension. And I'm going to repeat 10 times here. If I need to, as a little bit extra pressure, I could push down with my hands as I'm trying to activate my quad to regain that knee extension. Then recheck in this position, see if it's a little bit easier, and over time that knee will be able to straighten out a little bit more. Second thing, if we're not able to bend our knee or if there's pain, I'm going to grab a towel, same thing, put it around my leg, bend my knee as far as I can, and use the towel to add a little bit of overpressure. Going into a little bit of pain is okay, and then come out of it. And I'm going to repeat that 10 times, trying to go further each time. If it's at the end of range, what I could do is use my hands to get the end range, just like that. Both sides, trying to even out our knee extension and our knee flexion. That's step number 1. I would recommend doing these exercises a good 3-4 times a day to start off. They're not too difficult, and it's mainly about reactivating our quads and regaining our knee mobility. Now, if you're somebody that works at a desk all day and you don't have the opportunity to sit on the floor, what you could do is straighten out your leg from this position, and same thing, practice contracting your quads in that position if there's a difference in extension on both sides. And I can even use my hands to get a little bit of overpressure. That's for extension. And for flexion, I could do the same thing, where I'm just bending my knee as far as I can, 10 to 15 times. I would recommend doing each of those 3-4 times a day until we regain full knee extension with a good quad activation at the end of range, and we regain knee flexion on both sides. That's step number 1. So step number 2 that we discussed is regaining our motor control. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, which is getting the hip to work with the knee to offload it. I'm using a yoga block here. You could use something smaller or larger depending on your level and your function. I'm going to put it on the floor, step on it with the painful side. I don't mind if you have something to hold on to. Making sure my hips are even, so I don't want to be like this. I want to be nice and level. Then I'm going to stick my bum out until I feel that hip engage, and then slowly bend the knee to touch the ground and come up to the starting position. Once again, hips back, feel that hip engage, slowly bend with control and come back up. I'll show you from the side. So I'm here, sticking my bum out, feeling that hip engage, slowly bend to touch the ground and come up. After you do around 10 reps, you should feel your hip working more than your knee, and you should feel no knee pain. That's the key. If you feel knee pain, you have to decrease the depth of the step, even if that means starting with a 1-inch textbook, that's fine, and slowly we'll increase the depth of it over time. The key is really practicing engaging that hip as we're stepping up, and that's going to transfer into when we're doing lunges, when we're doing squats in the future. But this is a great starting point. So once again, the key is that there's no pain during. So start off with a small book if needed, and slowly progress the depth over time, making sure that there's full control and making sure that we're comfortable activating the hip. So I'd recommend doing 2 sets of 10 reps per day with this one, and working on that over a good 4 to 6 weeks, and you'll feel a huge improvement in your knee pain and your knee function, with both step 1, regaining the mobility, and step 2, re-engaging that hip. So step number 3 is general strengthening of the lower body. My 2 favorite exercises are squats and lunges that I personally do. So the lunge that I do is just standing shoulder width, stepping back, keeping all my weight on this front leg, pushing through the front leg and coming back. Here, push through the front leg and come back. A lot of people have trouble stabilizing. They're going to be in these weird positions. So that's why we worked on the first phase, really getting comfortable engaging that hip. Another mistake is people will bring all their weight onto the back leg as they lunge like this and push through the back leg. And I want to keep all my weight through this leg as I step back and push through the front leg. I recommend 3 sets of 10. Once that gets easy, you can add a weight and repeat the lunges just like that. Number 2 is squats. You can start with body weight squats, and then you can add weight. So I'm just here, squatting and coming up. Okay, same thing, repeating 3 sets of 10. I would recommend doing that every day, but 2 to 3 days a week will be sufficient to improve your lower extremity strength and function. Lastly, I would highly recommend adding in 1 or 2 plyometrics of the legs, because our legs are meant to be explosive also, right? If you think of running, jumping sports, so we want to work on that aspect also. So what I personally do is jump squats, jumping as high as I can for 3 sets of 5. So it looks like this. Okay, so 5 reps as explosive as I can. Rest for a couple minutes and repeat that for 3 sets. I also like to do the same thing on 1 leg at a time to work on my balance and working on all those muscle imbalances that might be between the legs. So on 1 leg here, and I'm going to jump up, land and absorb, up. Okay, obviously that's significantly harder, but you could work on that over time. So this video would not be complete without talking about aerobic exercise that we know is extremely beneficial for our health, and also for our knee health. So I'd recommend daily walks of 20 to 30 minutes minimum per day. And if that's painful, you could use a stationary bike like this, which is great on the knees, and then you could progress to walking and slowly to running. So those are the phases that I would recommend, starting off again with regaining that knee mobility and quad activation, working on the motor control with step-ups, progressively increasing the height over time. Once you're comfortable with that, I would recommend getting into basic strengthening exercises, 2 to 3 teams per week. I showed you here squats and lunges, and adding in some plyometrics with the squat jumps, and all of that coupled with daily aerobic exercise. That's going to be a great plan to handle your knee pain. Let me know if you have any questions. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to get in your daily physio.